Chapter 1, Introduction. Chapter 1.1, History of Internet.
Hey Daniel, I'm curious about how the internet started. Can you explain it to me?
Of course, Maria. The Internet's history is fascinating. It all began in the late 1960s with a project called ARPANET.
ARPANET? What's that?
ARPANET stands for Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. It was a network developed by the U.S. Department of Defense. The idea was to connect computers so they could communicate with each other.
I see. So, how did it evolve from there?
In the 1970s, two important protocols were developed, TCP and IP. TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, and IP stands for Internet Protocol.
What do those protocols do?
Good question. TCP manages the sending of data, ensuring it arrives correctly, while IP routes the data to the right destination. Together, they form the backbone of the Internet.
Got it. What happened next?
In the 1980s, the Domain Name System, or DNS, was introduced. This system translates easy-to-remember domain names, like www.example.com, into IP addresses that computers use to communicate.
That sounds handy. And what about the World Wide Web?
The World Wide Web. It was invented in 1989 by a scientist named Tim Berners-Lee. The web is a way to share information on the Internet using web pages.
How do web pages work?
Web pages are written in a language called HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. They can include text, images, and links to other pages. When you click on a link, your browser uses HTTP, or Hypertext Transfer Protocol, to fetch the new page.
So, the web made the internet more accessible to people?
Exactly. With the introduction of web browsers in the early 1990s and the spread of Internet service providers, the Internet became widely accessible to the general public.
That's a lot of development in just a few decades.
Indeed, the Internet has transformed our world, making it an essential tool in many aspects of life.
Thanks for explaining, Danielle. I have a much better understanding of the Internet's history now.
You're welcome, Maria. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask.